Good morning. This is the Eminis market review for the week of August 16th. And the first thing I'm going to show is the multi-chart scanner. You can actually see that gold is in congestion on the daily chart. This is what interests me on gold. On the NASDAQ, it's also in congestion on the daily chart. And if we scroll down, we can also see that the Aussie dollar is still in congestion on the daily chart as well. This is going to determine the market action this week. So with that being said, I want to go over to gold. You do see that I've already marked the most important lines that I feel that are most important on all of the markets. So I do think that we are going to push down on gold at the beginning of the week. We may see it even out at 1100, or it could go down as low as 1080. The most important aspect to watch at the first of the week is whether it's able to break through this potential area of support. Is actually around 1110. So that's where I would be reading the volume. Other than that, I see gold going down at the first part of the week. On crude, I do think that we're going to get some upward movement on crude. The ADX on the daily chart is at 72. That's extremely oversold. So we could potentially see some upward movement back to around $45 on crude. Now, the most important thing is whether it's able to break the ATR that is on the 180-minute chart. That's currently at 42.74. Okay, so you're going to see crude go up here to around $43. As long as it breaks through that area, it should go back up to 45. Over on the Dow Jones, you can see I've highlighted all the areas that I think that are most important this week. I do think that we would see the Dow go up to 17,500, possibly as high as 17,600. It has found an area down here around 17,300 that would support this upward movement. So I am expecting the Dow to go to 17.5, maybe as high as 17.6. Down on the NASDAQ, I am anticipating it to go back to 46.20, and then it may come back to 44.60. This is the congestion area that is on the daily chart. Over on the ES, I do think we will see 2100. We would need to read the volume when it gets to that area to see whether it continues up or not. On the euro, it has developed an area that will resist price right around 1.1200. So we could, if we are able to clear all of these areas, clear the 1.1000 area, we could see 1.0900 on the euro this week. But again, we have to read the volume in these areas to make sure that it does not find support, especially around the 1.1000 area. On the British pound, I do think we will see some potential downward movement initially. We could see as low as about 5,500. If I want to zero in on that, it would actually be around 55.16 as it stands right now. This pink line has acted as a resistance area, and that's what may push the British pound down. On the Swiss franc, you do see that we are at an ATR on the 45-minute chart. We may come back to 0220 and test this area to see if it's going to provide support. If it does not provide support, we will continue down. On the Canadian, you can see that we have potential support areas here at 76.22. If this area does in fact support price, we will go up to 7,700. If they are able to break it, in other words, if sellers stepped in, then we could see it going lower, even down to 75.80. On the Aussie, you can see that we are at the ATR on the 45-minute chart. It's already tested this line. This line has provided support. So if it is able to clear the 7,400, 7,450 area, it will continue on to 7,500. So a lot of this is congestion areas that are on higher time frames, like the 180, the 720, and the 1440, that's actually going to determine how the market plays out this week.